I spend more on my animals than I spend on myself. Hey guys, it's Maddie. For today's video, we are going to be talking about how I afford all of my animals. If you guys haven't already, take a second to click the subscribe button down below and subscribe to my channel. I post new animal videos every single week. Today's video is sponsored by Pets Add Life. Pets Add Life is a wonderful nonprofit organization that is dedicated to promoting the positive role that pets play in people's lives. They also have a really adorable YouTube channel. You guys can check it out. The link is in the description below. All of their pet videos are really super adorable and I think you guys will love them. So after you watch this video, go check out their channel. So first and foremost, about affording pets, you have to realize that the initial cost of the pet is not what the pet is going to cost its entire life. Before you buy an animal, you should add up the initial cost of the animal to the estimated monthly cost of the animal. So that would be food, cleaning supplies, anything like that. The minimum housing requirement for your animal, so like tanks or enclosures, along with monthly flea, tick, and heartworm preventatives. And you're going to need to do yearly vaccinations and yearly checkups at the vet. So you really have to take all of this into consideration before buying the animal, because the initial price tag of the animal itself is not going to be your biggest investment. When you look at the initial cost of the pet, if that seems like too much for you, then it's probably not a good idea to get an animal at that time. This means that before I buy an animal, I add up everything or do a quick estimate of what I think everything's gonna cost, and then I budget myself so that I can splurge on the animal. I know this is different for a lot of people because a lot of people aren't literally dedicating their entire lives to their animals and they just wanna have a pet. But for me, it's more than just having a pet. And I think that if everybody goes into owning a pet with the kind of mindset that you are literally caring for another family member, that pets will be a lot better cared for and you will be able to afford your animals a whole lot better. The average US household spends over $500 on their animals per year, which sounds insane to me. I wish I only had to spend that much on my animals every year, but obviously I have a lot more animals than the average US household, so I spend that probably about every single month. One thing that I really do try to do is watch what I'm spending my own money on. This is not, going out to eat all the time. It's not buying new clothes for myself all the time, even if, I want new clothes. It's really restricting myself. Every time I go somewhere and I see something that I really want, I think back to my animals and I think, do I really need this, or should I put this towards bettering the care of my animals? And most of the time, I end up not buying the product, but obviously sometimes I do. It's my life. I'm not going to dedicate every single penny that I earn to my animals, just the majority of it. This means I literally only set aside 20% of my paycheck for myself. Another 20% goes to emergency veterinary care for my animals in case something were to happen out of my control. So that 20% is just kind of a cushion to fall back on in case something were to happen. For instance, I have coyotes that are running around my house recently. They've been taking other people's dogs and I'm just petrified. A lot of people always say, oh, I wish I could have as many animals as you do. And I always say, please do not buy more animals than you are able to give good care to. You don't want to give them just enough care to keep them alive, but you want to give them enough care to actually make their life enriched and a happy, full life. Because if you're buying an animal, don't you want your animal to be happy and more than just alive? So at the end of the day, guys, I budget for myself and I splurge on my animals. That is really how I afford my animals. I set most of the money aside for them and then spend only what I need so that I can afford to take care of them. So I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover in this video. Basically, I restrict what I spend so that I can spend more on my animals because they mean the entire world to me. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any more questions for me about anything I didn't cover in the video, please leave me a comment. I do have all my social media in the description below. My Snapchat is open if you guys have any questions too. You can ask me there, and I'll see you next time. Bye!